Those who are coming in, just let me know that you can hear me and that my sound is fine. Okay, let me go ahead and start the show. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Joseph Bukwena. I am your host. This show is on every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. But this week we've done all of our shows at 8 p.m. Tomorrow is going to be the members only show. During the members only show, the contributing guys, the contributing members of Overthinking Football get to have a show to themselves that you can watch, that you can comment, but you can't join in, and it's up to them, topics and discussions and what we do. For those man who have gone over to the Facebook page and have found a little bit of an issue there, I have been suspended from Facebook. I don't know why. I'm still appealing. So please look out for all of the content that's going to be dropping on YouTube and TikTok. Those are the two places that's going to be dropping up until whatever's happening there at Facebook gets sorted out. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they are available in full on YouTube. All of them and other content that I do. I dropped a video recently, just a couple of days ago, reacting to some words that Ubab Kaiser said in an interview. And, guys, yeah. The less said about that, you can go watch over there. And then, if you want to lend your voice to the show and join and add your show to one of my panels, just know that you have to be following me live on TikTok. Join me while I'm live on TikTok, and then there'll come a time where I'll open up the lines. Click on the button at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest request, and then I'll let you in, and you can join any of the panels discussing whatever we're discussing on that night. That is how it works. So, last night we saw the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. And it went exactly how we thought it was going to go. I'll give you some stats. Last night's game, Cape Town Spurs had 0 shots and 0 on target. So they weren't there. They had 24% possession. Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, had 18 shots, 8 on target with 76% possession. Right? They outpassed them, they outplayed them, they outpositioned them. Yeah, they did everything better than this Cape Town Spurs team. And as you know, whenever we've had one of those games, especially if it's one of the big three, we do have press conferences. So let's hear what the two coaches had to say. About what transpired last night. Agent says, go December. Oh, get December, pause. Finally, it's been a long year. December. Hey, man. But it's fine. Let me bring in Coach Ernst, and let's hear what Coach Ernst has to say about the performance of his team.
Okay, it was not unlucky. It was definitely a very dominant performance we have seen from Mamelodi Sundowns, despite the number of players were not included. But okay, as we all know, there are 35, 40 players on their side. They every time can contribute to a good performance. The concept is also not new. We started, I think, at a certain, let's not talk about 15 or 20 minutes, but I thought, okay, we can make it difficult. At least the first goal came, and then the confidence, of course, on the side of Sundowns is extremely till the end of the extra time even to observe. Finally, yeah, you have to be happy not to concede more goals, to be realistic. On our side, I thought we had achieved a little bit more in the last number of 2-3 weeks in terms of physicality, in terms of cleverness, in terms of using the tactical foul in the right moment, keeping the possession of the ball. If you move forward with the second touch, make it really happen that we get the time for the 2-3 seconds to follow, to give support, but not in the first half and also not in the second half. We were able to simple passes, switching balls from 25 meters from one side to the other side, I think has nothing to do with they cannot do it. It's not worked. It was not successful. The passing accuracy, in particular, if it comes to the medium lengths or the longer balls, but the right balls were It's simple, easy in the moment. Of course, also a question of confidence. Therefore, a lot of stuff to do. Not really the way as we were thinking to be able to handle the game, but okay, good. It's a strong team. Wish them all the best for the game on Sunday in Egypt to achieve the Champions League next step.
It's actually sad to listen to him. It's actually very sad to listen to him. He took the job. This is his second or third game in charge. He's coming to this game and he thought maybe he could turn them around, but now he's figuring out that this team is more broken than anything. Guys, this is the worst start for a PSL team. Last night when we were watching the game, I said that no, it might be the second. No, it's the worst start. The last time a team started this badly was Bushbucks, which had 6 losses in a row to start off the season in the 1999-2000 season. That was the worst start. These guys, if not for Pirates in the middle, this start is incredibly bad. I believe they went 8 games before the Pirates game. So they've got the worst start, and they're looking at one of the worst finishes. And I don't know if he's enough. I don't think he's going to be enough to turn this around. I don't think he'll have the time. This is a team that psychologically is gone. It's gone. As he says, they can't even complete simple 25-yard passes because it's gone. I'm gonna let one more question go, then we'll switch to Urulani and hear what he has to say.
Coach, over your time in the PSL, you've not been a stranger to introducing young players out of nowhere and them having long, successful careers in the PSL. Do you think, or is there any players in the Cape Town Spurs squad that could potentially just come and refresh this team? Because there's a lot of aging old legs and the team is devoid of confidence. Maybe they need some youthful exuberance.
No, I don't think so. If you look into it, Azanele, Chumani, Moninel, these are not old legs. Of course, you have 3-4 players into it, but as you said, I think the secret is always very Lebo Maboye on the other side, Tapelo Morena on the other side, Rushen de Royk on the other side, all brought in as younger players in Maritzburg and Bloemfontein. I can continue. We can take the Pirates team, we can take a number of other teams, Globo, Supersport, and so on. But you have to prepare them adequately, and prepare doesn't mean that you are not able to identify that they have talent. Talent is one parameter. The professionalism starts with how strong I'm prepared to work on my physical, and there were a lot of moments today where it 1 against 1 and rolling over. So that means you have talent. Talent is not the question, it's not an issue. There's a number of players in the club with a lot of talent, but definitely with a certain challenge of being able to have the real physical power to be successful, to stop a player who is driving through the midfield, if it is Maboy, if it is Sungu, if it is Bule. Just really, you need power, you need the individual. It's not that you go in ball possession, you stop a player, and then in this moment, of course, make something out of it yourself. And a number of players are not really prepared for the PSL in the moment. We have to be honest.
Basically,
That was an unfair question by Lorenz. Shout out to Lorenz Koller. This is where we're getting these visuals from. That was an unfair question. You don't bring kids into this situation. 13 games lost and you want a guy to make his debut. All right, guys, that's unfair. That's unfair. And I'm sure even if you were coaching the team, you'd think to yourself, as in, guys, I need the older guys to step up now. I need the guys who've had experience. Some of them have had the experience of getting relegated, right? You need those guys to be like, hey, guys, we've been through this before. Maybe we can step up and help out the team. And I think what Cape Town Spurs is really, really, really missing is some leadership, man, especially from those old players. I mean, they've got Abo Michael Martin, they've got Abo Clayton Daniels, Vuyo Mere is also a player there, even though he wasn't available. It's unfair. It's unfair to expect Umidendop to drop these players into such a fire at such a young age, because at this time of their careers, you could kill a guy. You could kill their confidence forever if you drop them in and go, yeah, guys, because you're young, you may be able to put this team on your back. I don't know if that's the right thing. I'm also not sure if physicality is what you need to play versus the Sundowns. You know, Sundowns is not necessarily a physical team. Sundowns is also a very silky smooth. They're quick. They're a quick team. And if you play these bulky players, you saw Abomotin looking slow. You know, you saw a lot of those players on that team yesterday looking slow, right? And Sundowns just had them. Now, of course, they were playing a low block and they were trying to protect themselves as well as they could. But this is where it is. Let's hear from Coach Roland.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Coach, for making the time, members of the media. Coach, just from your side, the summary of the game, which Milan said it was dominant and there was an expectation for you to win.
Oh.
It was not unlike he says.
Oh. Yeah, no, thanks. Good evening to members of the media. Yeah, congratulations to this group. Congratulations to the technical team, the coaches. Congratulations to the fans. I thought the turnout for a midweek game was very, very good. And yeah, congratulations to this group of players. Good performance today, good energy, good personality, and yeah, very happy with the performance and very happy with the result and the 3 points.
No. Any questions? Okay.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Kamu.
Today we saw you give a runner to
Yeah.
a lot of players that probably haven't been starting a lot of the games this season so far. One player that was missing from the bench, however, is Siyabonga Mabena. I just wanted to know what's his situation. Can we expect for him to participate in more first team action this season, you know, with maybe the more competitive AFL stuff out the way?
Yeah, there was a lot of players missing from the bench. Marcelo Allende was not on the bench. Lucas Ribeiro was not on the bench. Tamba Zwane was not on the bench. So that was Ronwen Williams was not on the bench. So yeah, we just decide it's based on performances. It's based also on giving opportunities sometimes to some of these squad players who we have in the team, and it's just based on the decisions. He's had his fair chances. He's a youngster. He's 16 years old. We've got to be very patient with him, and it's just a pity, you know, that it's a season where I don't get to train them. You know, players like Mabena, even Tando Nkosi, Tando Buthelezi, these kids need training, you know, and they need to get better by training. So it's just a pity that they don't get too much training. But his chances will come. He's still young, 16. He's got another 10 he's 26, maybe another 20 years of football. So let's be patient with him and let's not rush him. Still needs a lot of coaching and a lot of work, but he's in good hands and amongst good company. So he'll develop very well.
Thanks, Shoops.
It literally feels like the inverse. It literally feels like the inverse of what we just spoke about with what they asked to Ernst Middendorp. You know, this is the coach who's saying that, guys, it's too early. I don't get to train him. I don't get to sit down with him. So I'm not going to throw him into the fires. I'm not going to throw him in when he's not ready. We still need to work with him. So I think that's what I was trying to say when we were speaking about Middendorp's situation with Bob Bartman and all those guys, you know. Mamelodi Sundowns is an extremely successful team right now. They've got tons of games. But Ucoach understands that I can't rush this guy. I can't rush him up in as a 16-year-old, you know, to go play Pyramids, to go play in some of these games, to go play in the PSL. He needs time to grow. I need time with him, and we can go from there, which is very interesting. On Mamelodi Sundowns' performance, guys, I don't know what we expected yesterday. This is the worst team in the league. This is possibly, at the end of the season, could be one of the worst teams ever in the PSL era. This is how bad this Cape Town Spurs team has started off. You know, even in the worst seasons. I mean, Uchamosono, right, was 11 in the 11-12 season. Was 7 games in when he had 3 points and then got some points afterwards, still got relegated, right? With 19 points overall. But this one, 14 games in, and you can only show 3 points. I don't know what we're expecting. I actually think it helped the Sundowns to take some of the players that haven't been playing and put them in this. You know, the guys who are regular starters have gone through plenty games. There've been many games, but also, you know, there's been a little bit of a slump-ish. I'm not gonna say it's a bad slump. They've won their games, but they've had a little bit of a slump in the past few games. So it was good to see Abombule come in and get chances and show, man, give them a chance to audition to try get back into the first team. And I think some of that hunger paid off in this game. Obviously, the scoreline is the scoreline, and the performances are the performances. So all we can really say is Mamelodi Sundowns has played 11 games, won 11 of them. They've scored 23 goals, only conceded 3. They are 33 points ahead. The Cape Town Spurs, on the other hand, with their 3 points, are 11 times. Sundowns' points tally is 11 times that of Cape Town Spurs. Just let that sink in. I know we're not all perfect. Chiefs is 20 points or something like that on the log, you know, but it's like, hey, this Cape Town Spurs team, I don't know if they're going to be saved. I don't know if they can be saved. Anyway, guys, let me open it up and we can have the conversation. Please remember that you have to be following me on TikTok and join me while I'm on TikTok. There's a button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. Click on that button. I'll let you in and we can have this conversation about this Sundowns team and what they're doing this year. While we're there, let me just read some of the comments before I let my panel start speaking. Van den Om says, did you know Mamelodi Sundowns goal difference is equal to Kaizer Chiefs points? Hey Mara, you guys. Hakimi says the man is powerless. Malume Kusa says, oh, we are. Wahib says, evening, Grotman. How are you doing? Wahib, Grotman, yourself. Mirendop must leave SA football. Never. Man management skills at its best. Rulani is just trying to emulate Pep Guardiola in SA, says Wahib. Mirendop isn't the problem at the club. It's been about the director. You should try do it overseas. Rulani, welcome. Thank you so much, Rulani. Thank you so much for the roses, the 11 roses. Guys, please send some roses, man. Send something yana to support, guys, please. Anyway, Kumo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Sure, bona.
Nakimnati, team yaka. Weekend. What did you think of this game?
Wa like a team ya ha like a Sundowns in England. Namar some ish.
Akere umputisa ore ke jwang. Umputisa ore ke jwang akere. How am I? Okay. Naturena. Pobre only blelete pobre. Our stresses are from there. Okay, like
the game, and the game you and I honestly it was boring, but not because of Sundowns. Sundowns did everything to make the game fun. I don't understand. We had like Cape Town Spurs. They don't play with that prestige. I mean, like I know that they used to be Cape Town, Ajax
Cape
Cape
Town.
Town. This team, when they won the playoffs, they were so happy. They were crying. Or like Lena, I bought into the story of underdog, you know, trying thing, that sort of thing. But now when they play, it's like they're just playing because of obligation. There's no really, besides an effort, there's no motivation. I don't know if like I'm being paid or they just consider, maybe the PSL is not for us. We actually gel well, go the NFD. I don't know. I mean, like, you know, like if you are 10 games, 10 games down that you haven't won, I mean, like, there's nowhere else to go but up. Why don't you give it give it up. No, I know you play against the great Mamelodi Sundowns, but you could have taken your chances. Even Sundowns, so it felt like they were disrespecting them by maybe playing in their French players. Even that's the case. I mean, like every some Sundowns player can be number one in every team, literally. So, man, I wonder if I was Cape Town City or whatever, Cape Town Spurs, I was gonna play. I still have my pride. I was gonna give Sundowns a fight to remember. Ne? Even though I was gonna get relegated, but I was gonna give it my all and say, yeah, we fought. We fought, we fought, and I did it. Like I went guns blazing. Mr. Master Chef really enjoyed it. He really enjoyed his game. Like he was having fun. I wonder.
Yeah.
It felt like he never left. It felt like never left. It was also to see some of our guys. Although it did feel like it was a legends game. You know, it's probably some legendary game players play. That's how it felt. But I'm happy for the 3 points. The atmosphere at Loftus, it seemed like it was okay, it was fun. I wish I could have been there. But yeah, man, if anything, I'm much more disappointed in Cape Town Spurs. Like, that's not how you play when you fought to be where you are so hard.
Okay. Let me bring in Sean. Sean, welcome to the show. How are you? Kare network. Okay, Sean, we're going to come back to you. Let me bring in Ukodesa 90. How are you?
Doing okay, brother, and yourself?
No, I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Tell me, what did you think of this game?
Mandibulise kumntu wonke. For someone ebebukela Cape Town Spurs from the lower division, this is not the Cape Town Spurs we used to kuyibukela from a lower division. But for me, I'm not a Mamelodi Sundowns fan, and I'm Rulani Mukwena's fan. That guy is doing well. He's doing wonders in our country and abroad. I know there are those individuals who always see Rulani as someone who took over from who coach Pito. And it seems like for others, it seems like Rulani doesn't have any impact on the team. For me, or for someone who follows Rulani, I believe Rulani has done a magnificent job with the team, as well as how to manage everything when it comes to his team. Mamelodi Sundowns is doing well at the moment. Let's not take credit away from Mamelodi Sundowns, but what it was a boring game.
Yeah.
The game we've just watched yesterday, it was one of the boring games I ever watched. Not because Mamelodi Sundowns didn't do anything to spice the game up, but there's a lot wrong about Cape Town Spurs. There's a lot. You've just watched the game and you will see so many errors, as in like you are watching a game from SAP team. It seems like you're watching playing against the SAP team, whereas it's our professional league. I don't know what's wrong with the team, but it's not the same team we've watched last season on a Mitsube league. And it's Mitsube.
I'm gonna come back because I want us to talk a little bit about that. Sean, are you back with us?
Yeah, my man. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing?
Man, I'm good. How are you?
No, I'm great. Tell me, 3-0 Mamelodi Sundowns Cape Town Spurs. How did you see this game?
No, we eat nice at Sundowns. We eat nice at Sundowns. I disagree with people who are saying it was a boring game. I don't know what we were watching, but um, I think to watch Sundowns make 10 changes and still dominate the game. I mean, to watch a Tapalo Morena and a Masheho invert is crazy business. To watch those.
Yeah, man.
To watch, you know, old people. To watch, what's this guy's name? My boy played a full 90 minutes. I mean, that assist for that goal, for the third goal, was crazy. You know, if you watch goal that was scored by MasterChef, I mean, what MasterChef was doing in between those lines is crazy business. Sundowns really, I don't know, like what the way that we play was more evident playing against Cape Town Spurs than many teams. How you pin teams back, especially when you always have a pass by zone 13 and zone 15, and how there's always a Tambazwane, a MasterChef. When you have the full squad, you have a Ribeiro in that 14, just to make sure that we are compact, and to have those spaces in between to run into. We didn't have much of it because we were playing with 5 at the back, but how we're always able to get behind it, especially from zone 13 and zone 15, is what I want was this team, Orlando Pirates, to do. You know, they're trying to occupy 14, but they're doing it in the wrong way, in my opinion, because they don't have width.
Okay.
You know, so it's very difficult for them to play. That's why I want Saleng back into the squad. So for me, maybe from a tactical perspective, that was a really good game. You know, against a team that doesn't wanna lose. You know, my only issue with a lot of the coaches in this country, especially those who are trying to play direct football, is they're not innovative about it. You know, direct football to them always has to be the long ball. You know, it always has to go over. You know, and I always say Kevin Hunt had an idea of it, but he keeps on giving up on that idea. You know, that 2-man midfield for a team that's trying to play direct football is very important. You know, I mean, when I personally look at Brighton, and this concept that they have, that there has to be as less passes as possible into the final third of the opposition to get a goal, is another example of how direct football can be played. You know, you don't necessarily have to go long over. You can always go long through the channels, you know, but you need players that know how to receive the ball, that knows how to see the passes and how to discipline, and they're disciplined enough to position themselves. You know, like yesterday I keep on seeing Mkhulisi do the simple things in midfield. You know, you get the ball, you let it go. You know, you get the ball, you see space, you attack the space. You know, and yesterday it almost seemed like they were, and this is one thing that PSL teams can't do, guys. I mean, when you watch Sundowns, the most important thing is how they break down a low block. You know, that's the most important thing. Teams are struggling to break down a low block. You know, watching Sundowns is watching a team, you know, break down a low block. They will tilt the game, and when you think they're done, they bring you back to the center, tilt it again. And the running is just way too much. They make the ball do the work. You busy running after the ball. You know, so it's very important to see 10 changes which are done, and changes on the bench and still dominate. You know, that to me was a very exciting game to watch. But anyway, if you want to learn how Sundowns plays, that's a better way of watching it. Plus the game against
I'm gonna come back, Sean. The network. Okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back, Sean. I'm gonna come back. Malume Kutso, hey, Sean, or Kenya ko cap license training, man. Hey, don't put the kids in TV, but it's fine. How are you, my brother?
The OT. No, now I'm good, but to be better. I don't know if 14 again. Na mina ngiyazi futhi. Ngiyangala ukuzofanda ukuthi ebholeni ne-14. I'm trying to conquer na kitsiba 11 players, man. Kitsiba 10. 14. But anyway, but it makes sense why he thought yesterday's game was interesting because Ananempora. I watched it. I would like. So I had two devices. I had for phone and for overthinking. I mean, for football and for overthinking. As I just find Sundowns in the last third. Which I couldn't understand. The midfield, yeah, Cape Town Spurs was offering nothing, no resistance, nothing whatsoever. So I just found it a bit boring, Jay. And the fact that I knew which Sundowns will not score, well, I thought they wouldn't score in the second half. I was surprised that Chaluli eventually scored. Yona made it even worse because I knew which. Now I'm just gonna watch a 0-0 second half. Cape Town Spurs, man, ish. It's sad. It's sad. Cape Town Spurs, it's sad. It's sad what's happening there. I think the management, we can blame management on this one. Firstly, for not signing players when the season started. Well, they can say we thought we had enough experience in the frame of Morton, Clayton Daniels, as well as Nazir Ali. However, I would say, yes, you need experience, but you also need it with legs. And if you're going to get experience that has aged, you need to at least supplement it with a bit of energy around it. And I'm not talking about young boys, but someone with a bit of experience, not maybe a young 3 seasons, at least in the PSL, 4 seasons. Get the player in, and I think that's what they lack. And I keep my share, but I keep on home go Cape Town Spurs. I don't see a player that would like struggle at other teams. Honestly, I see good players. I'm like, okay, these players are not as bad as the results suggest. Like, it's you can't look at those players and think, wow, you've gone 14 games without a win or with one win. You know, when you look at them, you think, plan. If I count some of those players there, Bonel, Bopewa, Bo Kanakimang, Radio Pan, those 3 players that I've just counted are great. We've known them for some time. They've been circling around us, but unfortunately for Cape Town Spurs, those 3 good players have never actually held their own in the PSL before. So Nell might be a bit older than them, and Pewa might have been exposed to international football in terms of national teams, the juniors, for some time. Radio Pana is from Orlando Pirates. Well, he's not playing right now, but he's with the team. But
Rarani was from Sundowns before leaving.
yeah, Ralani would have been something different. But with the 3 guys that I've just counted, they don't bring much to the PSL. They themselves need guidance. Like Uluvuyo, I saw him against Pirates, and I was like, I think someone else needs to tell him, Uti, you're gonna run out of gas. These guys, they might look like you're running them ragged, but second half, they're not gonna be as weak as you think they are, and you'll definitely be flat, which was the case, even though Cape Town Spurs beat us. So I think they need, man, Boma, couple of loans, which I think Swallows has survived on. Knock on the right doors. Pirates is players which they would gladly give out on loan because they don't want to sell them, but they want to see them play and understand. Oh, actually, Polano, you are right. I remember Pewa is a Sundowns player, but they really do need maybe a Ralani. And I think maybe Ralana saw that he was alone and he didn't buy into the idea. And I can imagine when a coach that says kick the ball long comes through, he just couldn't cope. Man. If you remember what Aneleng said to the players, what he allegedly said, you'll understand why Oralani is okay to leave teams. With Panama contracting, was Ralani in Belgium or Sweden?
I'm forgetting. Might have been Belgium, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if he was
I'm
in
trying to
Belgium,
think of one.
could be Sweden, but if he was in Belgium, then I'm thinking which umeli package yakhe, so he won't stress much because banama package ngara. Yeah, because when we not Sundowns or Amazulu or something like that, apparently told the guy, I'm waiting for my 36 million. Don't worry, gents. He was waiting kabanga 36 million at the age of 36, I think. Hooking at 36 million, and you nice. So Liberal, and I don't think Bangenga, man. They good. They know they've paid their dues. So he probably saw with man, this coach that they're bringing in, philosophy wise, which player do we know from Chiefs that was like Ralan when Mindindop was doing extremely well? I can't point out anyone. So maybe there was a clash in terms of how football should be played. And Grootman Ralan was like, Grootman, I'm out.
Okay. Let me just read some of these comments. Oh, Tolan is there. It says Sweden. Let's read some of these comments here. Even if the ancient ones come back, Chiefs will still suffer. Cape Town City has a problem called underpayment and not trying to add quality. Alson Tabi, welcome. The poor Cape Town Spurs is no longer in the Motsepe Foundation. I don't understand when the guys... How do you join? You join by following the account first, and then at the bottom of your screen, there's a multi-guest button. Just click on that and request. I'm not going to blame management. It was the boss and director of the football club. When the club came up from NFD, you should sign at least 4 to 5 players from the league, says Uwahib. I remember the day they won promotion, celebrating. Their chairman declared they would not change players, says Utatumza. They have themselves to blame. And Kolane, of course, coming in with that correction for Sweden. Thank you so much, Van den Om and Kolane, for the gifts, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Please, Kidizemba maning zameni. Kumo, does this prove that you need to sign players? You need to, when you come up, you need to change your team, possibly also change your coach. It's something that we've cried about in South African football. Or when people get promoted, they forget about the people that promoted them. Now Cape Town Spurs are sitting in a situation where they were loyal, and now they're sitting in this situation. And then secondly, how do you fix it?
I don't believe in changing your coach, especially when you get promoted. I mean, like, the coach, when he coaches in the lower league, also has a vision on what he's going to be doing in the Premier League. I believe in fortifying on what you have, and that is obviously by getting quality players in order to move on. And because, like, you know, when you change your coach, unless you are Sundowns, you really change a lot of things like structure and philosophy. So when a new coach gets there, he doesn't know the culture of the team, the philosophy as well, and also is going to try and implement things that his players aren't privy to because of and unfortunately, when you're a new team with a new coach in the Premier League, there's no room for experimentation, right? And these people were playing in the playoffs, so they didn't really have a preseason. So it was foul of them for firing Coach Bartlett. I believe that he was, I mean, like, he's a good coach for them to win the playoffs. They did play against the PSL side in order for you to win the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know if it was a financial thing, because I don't know if the PSL gives or the NFD gives the people financial support to go and fortify their squad. Even if that's not the case, I mean, like, there are so many free agents that are also there in the NFD. I mean, like, no, like, people that played in the Premier League that are also there in the NFD. He could have actually pushed because of there's so much talent in the lower leagues, and with people who played in the PSL. I mean, like, winning the promotional league or winning the NFD gives you so much clout, because everyone wants to prove themselves, and everyone wants to play in the PSL. Maybe that was over one of the reasons why he didn't get players. I mean, like, one of the reasons why they are so dismal this season, because when they play, man, they seem like they have nothing to lose. It's like, if ever there was a team that looks like football zombies, I would give it to this team, because there's nothing in their eyes. They have no soul. They have no passion, man.
But then I hear you, Kumo. I hear you. But when we look at the history in the league, I mean, the last team possibly, I'd say, to do well after promotion without changing coaches was Swallows. Borale M changed coaches. Chuvo Maduka. Keeper survived off of those type of things. No, Truta at Swallows got fired very soon after they got promoted. Doesn't the pattern show you a different thing?
You know, in our league, we've always followed the status quo. And part of the reason why coaches like Bizo and Rulani are thriving is because they deviate from what is normal. So it doesn't necessarily have to that we have to follow what is known. Doing something different actually can improve your quality and how you play football. So let's give things a try. I mean, like, I'm all about stability. Like, you know your the limitations of your players. A new coach can try and analyze from video. A new coach can analyze from reputation, but you know, with the coach that you struggled with in the NFD, you've seen each other when you're at your lowest. You've seen each other when you are at high pressure, trying to win the playoffs. There were some games where there was under so much pressure, so you know the limits of their players. So that for me is valuable, and that is what you need for you to move forward with a team. If you thought that your coach is not good enough for the PSL, then get a nice sporting director or someone who's like on equal standing to come and assist. Or you can do a situation of not demoting the coach, because maybe get like a coach something that people frown on can actually work for you. That's all I'm saying. I mean, like, also, man, you know, it could also mean, I mean, like, the players also have feelings. I mean, like, you know, I did allude to the fact that there's some mental and emotional connection to their coaches. Maybe it could be also a way of protesting from their players. And why did you fire our coach who brought us this far?
Kaban nilijiwa. 8 games nilijiwa before he got fired.
Yeah, 8 games knowledge, I guess. But still, nothing is improved.
Well, how
It's
do you
like the
improve
win.
it then? How do you improve it? How do you fix
How
this
do you-
problem they're in?
Oh, luckily, I'm not a coach. I'm just the guy who speaks nonsense on your show every day. But, like, obviously, if you want to see improvement, I can give you the basic things like, try and get better players. Give the team money to get a proper coach. Those things take time, guy. There's no immediate things. But the only thing that you can improve as players and as a coach is to instill a mentality of fight. I mean, like, how do you come to Sundowns without a full squad? Ne? Why isn't my favorite player playing there? That should have been a that
The
should
red
have been a
flag.
great game for him. Yeah, you see, like, Bartman should have started yesterday, or he should have been on the bench. You know, he should have been playing there because he's injured. Oh, okay, no, okay, fine. But yeah, like, they don't even have enough personnel, so obviously you need more people. You can't rely on Clinton Daniels level Morton to carry this team. Those are old men, man. Those are
Okay.
old men that okay, sharp. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll
All right,
give
for
Cornelius
time.
a chance to speak.
Let
Yeah.
me bring in Coresa. Coresa. Does this prove that you have to get rid of the players, or you have to sign new players, or refresh your squad, refresh your coach? Is this another team that's showing us that that is something that you need to do when you get promoted? And then how do you fix this issue that they're in right now? As a second question.
I believe there isn't any reason of changing coaches. But when it comes to a matter of players, you should have signed 2 or 3 at least. That's at least 2 or 3, because on their last game of the league, they should have won the game and get promoted, a straight promotion, not going to playoff. But they didn't. It shows something at that point. It shows something that they will never survive a full season in PSL. If you can't win your last game, a crucial game of the league, to get a straight promotion, then how could you survive in the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, SuperSport, etc., etc. They, in that moment, it they should have just knew that they need to sign a player or two at that moment. And as for now, what they need to do is to make sure that instead of training hard, you need to install the fighting spirit in each and every one that you already have in your squad. It's a little bit too late to sign so much players or to sign 3, 4, 5 players.
Yeah.
It's a risk on its own because we are not sure if they will survive or not. For me, if they survived, it will be a miracle
Okay.
because there isn't any chance that Cape Town Spurs can survive on this league if this is what they will be doing throughout the season. There's only one thing: the Cupido we see is not the same Cupido we used to see last season on the championship. Which is there is something that is been taken away from them. I don't know what is it, but you need to install the fighting spirit. You need to install that. We need this more than anything else. We have jobs to keep. That's the thing that needs to be installed in each and every player on the Cape Town Spurs, and that can't be done with someone who is just a football coach. There's a difference between a football coach and a leader. You need a leader. Now you need a leader, not a football coach, not someone who will come with the tactics and all those things. You need someone who will sit down with the players and tell them what each and every one of them will lose if the club is being relegated. There's a risk that if the club is relegated, there's a risk that few of the players might lose their jobs. That's possible. So you need to install that mentality. Coming to the guy who said he doesn't agree with us when we said the game was boring. We didn't say Mamelodi Sundowns didn't make the game look. It was like Mamelodi Sundowns on the training session. So it was boring because of that. It was Mamelodi Sundowns trying something new, trying something else inside in their territories.
Okay. Yo, guys, this game was it was something else. Malumekuzo, I'm gonna come to you with the same two questions. When you look at this team, excuse me, this Cape Town Spurs team, are they proving the rule that you need to upgrade and bring in other players, possibly change your coach? Because that is a pattern we've seen for years in the PSL for those that survive, I guess. And how do you fix this situation at this point?
Yeah, well, and Mr. Uti, I think it's not just a blanket approach, nah? But what had to happen was to have a proper squad assessment, a proper coach assessment. Do you understand? Coach Sean is great. We love him. He's a legend. Former goal scorer before Penny McCarthy took over. But maybe he could have been equipped with the necessary assistance and necessary player resources. You did well with a nippy striker, a striker who moves around the box quite well, sizable striker. Do you think you can see someone else outside of the team with a bit of experience who fits into that player profile and understand? So that at least we maintain the style of play that you want, but in the same breath, we also compensate for experience that we need to survive this PSL. And like I said, I believe they've got great players. Not great, but I believe they've got fairly good players, and Coach Sean wasn't as bad. My problem is that Coach Ernst is someone who likes rattling the feathers. He's not a peaceful oak. he believes in tough love and all of those funny things. And at this delicate point, I don't think it's the way to go. But with that being said, there is a lot of truth to Ishowuti. Maybe just tweak the squad, tweak the squad. Like I've told the story from the other side. It's painful when they tweak the squad. This one guy once got promoted with Maritzburg United, man. I was still a kid when Maritzburg was promoted into the PSL. Don't know which was the first time, third time, but the guy came through. He is one of our own guys. He's made it into the PSL. You can always make it. We looked at him, we clapped hands. We were so happy for him, man. Monday, Maritzburg releases 16 players. I was like, oh my God. He was released just like that. So, in as much as I would advocate for it, I know the painful side of it, that the celebration that go on behind the scenes for you to release just like that, And actually, I know. Last time I checked into Mr. Mapen, I was playing for Polokwane City, and Polokwane City have actually done what you suggesting. They've added some experience. There some good players and some players.
They've changed coaches quite a few times.
Yeah, I understand. Some players have been languishing around the PSL. Even though the younger Police has been with SuperSport for some time now. And you can see he's coming into his own. So I still say the season can be saved. They are just 3 games away from leaving the foot of the table. 2 games from being 1 point behind. And I can tell you, Richards Bay is capable of waiting for them. Richards Bay is on 10 points, they are on 3 points. If they can win 2 games, the fire is on. And they will just bank on the game they play against Richards Bay, and they'll be 14th. It's not all kind of game said and kind of doom and gloom. They can still make it.
Okay. Guys, I'm gonna say goodbye to the first panel, so that I can bring in the other guys. Yeah, guys, look, for me, sometimes, I advocate for players and things, but sometimes when it's looking bad, it's looking bad. And sometimes you have to look at the history of what has happened in the league in order for you not to make the same mistakes. I don't think necessarily that Sean Bartlett had to be fired, right? But surely you refresh the team. Surely you guys are playing Maritzburg. You have just relegated Maritzburg. After the game, man, outside 1 or 2, man. Come on, what was it? Machman, come through. Come play for Cape Town Spurs. Banbani, come play for Cape Town Spurs. So that you can add something to the team going into the PSL, and this is what most teams that have made it and stayed have done. Like I said earlier, I think off the top of my head, the last teams to not get a coach and do well was maybe Swallows with Utruta. But otherwise, all of the other teams have refreshed. Now you find yourself in a situation where you had to fire Sean Bartlett 8 games in with all the losses. You let Vasily and the TD take over. They could only muster 1 win. And now you've brought in Ernst Middendorp. Maybe Ernst Middendorp should have been the first port of call at the beginning of the season before everything happened. But loyalty sometimes works. Loyalty sometimes does not work. I'm not going to say I wouldn't have been loyal in that situation. Let me bring in the next panel then, but I want to read some of these comments before. Let's see. Let's go back. You don't need big changes, but you need to add quality, says Wahib. Tabo says you definitely need to add quality. Sean Bartlett is one of the best SA strikers ever produced. He's got great vision, but the chairman, says Wahib, I think the game was boring because Spurs didn't do Downs what they did to Bucks. Managers who survived without clubs were Golden Arrows, Kukune, Chippa, and Swallows. All I can say, in Cape Town, Spurs will be 3rd best. The reason is clear to see. Khatui hasn't trained for 10 days now. I'm believing this is Bartman. When you beat Pirates, you didn't say they were old men. Hey guys, by the time they beat Paris, there were already eight games in the red. I beg to disagree. It also wasn't boring. Is it really difficult to give Sundowns credit? Oh, no, but we've given Sundowns their credit. Why so much water intake? You and Rulani, water. Guys, the same name is Mukwena. It means crocodile. So we need our water, I guess. Let me just go over quickly to YouTube just to see what's happening there. Katleho 077 on there says they're lucky they didn't get 7-0. What a pathetic team, says Katleho over on YouTube. Wahib, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. Firstly, what are your general thoughts about this match that we watched last night?
It's deserving, because how can you come into a league and not have strengthened anywhere near on the pitch or even on the bench? It just shows the lack of ambition the club have of moving forward.
Yeah.
There are many weaknesses in this team, so they have to look back and know that the Motsepe League is where they will find themselves. And they have to build on that. And perhaps another 3 years, maybe they could be in the PSL again.
Where do you fall on the situation of upgrading your team when you get promoted?
You should have an overall look at your strengths and weaknesses. They have to find players that was in the Premiership and trying to get them over. Some players of the NFD, but I'm surely they need lots of strength.
Okay. Agent, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Kalibona Masandawanda, you guys are all saying that this game was exciting. And I can understand why it was exciting for you guys. But overall, what did you think of this game?
I don't know. Maybe I was a bit, Keshapuli came I 1-2, but for me it was interesting. And I'm only allowed to beef Kumo and I go to Kuto and Vedile because Vedile like Inongas. And yeah, I think those are people I'm allowed to beef with. So to Frank yesterday, I'm sorry I beefed with you, man. I was just a bit tipsy there. But to the game was interesting for me because it was a typical mid and drop system, 9 men or 10 men behind the ball, and hope something somewhere goes your way and you nick it, But I don't think the boys are equipped for mid-and-drop football, First things first, you have an aged defense in there. And when you have an aged defense, there's a problem because, they can't follow quick runners, quick movements, they're going to get tired, and you don't have the experience also and the creative abilities to break on the counter, something you're relying on, And even if you say, okay, fine, let's try and win by set pieces, they don't have great headers of the ball like Kinto Abu Castro and the likes, and Lukovic, So you find in a situation where you have brought in a coach who doesn't have the proper tools to win you games. I think that was the first problem with the appointment of Medondop. The players that were there were what is this guy's name? Sean Butler's players. Short, playing on the ball on the ground. That was the philosophy of the team, So now when you bring in a guy who wants tall people and people who can run 90 minutes, it becomes a mismatch, of personnel, But it was a typical mid-drop thingy, and Sundowns played well.
Before you move on, isn't that where PSL teams often get it wrong when it comes to coaches? It's like they basically go for whoever's open, not necessarily whoever will fit in the team.
Yeah, true. It's all about who can I trust? I'm in the mud. Who can I trust? You say, okay, let me try mid and drop. You're not looking at what does Mamelodi bring? What does he need to succeed? You know, I'm desperate for a win. I'm Chiefs. Who's available? Hand. Does the hand have the tools to succeed at Chiefs? You know, so I think there's always a mismatch of.
You could have used another team though, but it's fine.
I mean, you know, Chiefs is the nearest example. But anyways, I pay me. No one is gonna ban me, man. I can talk about them without from morning. The big bosses will talk on my behalf. Anyways, and I think it also goes with coaches, because sometimes I'm like, but coach, you know what you're getting yourself there. Why are you going there? You know, and I don't know if he's listening, but I just have to use the example that even coach Vusimusi Villa guys, when he went where he went, we told him like, no, like we said it on the show that no, this won't work, you know, it won't work. We knew it, but still he went, you know. So it's the same as Middendorp, you know, still he went. Same as Hunt. He knew he was not going to get the anatomy that he wants, but still he went, you know? So I think it's both on the clubs and both on the coaches, you know? So I think that's a problem also. But otherwise, for me, the boys did well. They had a job to do, and they did the job, you know? And it wasn't even scrappy goals. There was good build-up play. There was interchanges of play. They didn't look rusty. Sometimes when Sundowns brings in these French players, the level goes down. But I don't think the level went down today. If anything, it went up a notch from the regulars, because they were struggling a bit themselves, you know? So for me, that's what I'm saying. It was a good game for me. Yeah.
Okay. Benile Mtakamaba, how are you?
Hey, ngiyaphila.
Yabona nawe soyakhatha. Hey.
Awuka.
He was not talking about Inyong. It's fine.
Akhonakali. Khonakali babungona. And next time mangabe ubulisa besikhathi you must specify ukuthi the real CAF champion who won it on the field of play.
Nazo.
Please, next time must be specific, not behind our back doors. The real CAF champion.
Hey. Benile, we wanted to game mara wena. Uzotala le.
No. Labantu labahluphi yazi labantu asisakhona ukuchaza igame azirethi igame iyabhoka wafaka bona bahlala balwa nje like hey ngathi ayikho into ongabayenzayo kulamalanga hey noma sesikhuluma ngeindaba zabantu mawungathi uyakhuluma nje ngisho nabo Ace Ngcobo basenkingeni abasakhona uku-analyze ukuthi ama game ngobe kuma-offside makathi nje bekuyi-offside iyasizonda ye ujealous hayi
Hey Mara.
Ngiyathe
Isikhathi sabo. Hey.
Yeah. No, I hope bonke ama-guys baphilile abafowethu la ku-panel nakuma-comment lapha eceleni. Personally, I've said it yesterday ukuthi I hate uJose nge-passion because wenze labantu la bakhuluma kakhulu eChampions League. And I was more worried kakhulu, but then I realized there was a situation of Leicester City. Benze into abangakazi bayenze empilweni yabo. It can take 100 million years of centuries before iphinde. Ngeke iphinde yenzeke lento eyenzakala le eCape Town. That team, as I've said, the team that plays playoff, Baba, you know you are in trouble when you come to PSL. You have to beef up. And as I've said you have to beef up close to 10 players because especially players you come with those that team comes from second division. So if Ushon performed with that team from second division, and then they didn't even revamp it coming into EPSL. As I've said, they only signed one player. One. So
one and a half. Omunye
wahamba yabona futhi. So that's what Maguxolani ayijane.
Embarrassed. Mina nathanda ukubhipa wayinibhipa in my comments, guys.
So that team it won, and also take into consideration imagine Ushon with that team from the second division. Let's look at now Ushon. He's only good. Personally, he was a good player and he's a good coach, but for second division, not for EPSL yet. He hasn't reached that standard. He still needs to to develop himself in terms of coaching, especially when it comes to PSL. Personally, I'm rating ngimrate le nabo Selula, nabo Jacob Sakala,
Yeah.
yeah, naloba coach abokhuluko,
Abos Kakan.
yeah, those coach abomlungisa ingubane, they are good there ehlathini bona bangakubuyisa bona. But when it comes to they have to take a team moving forward, especially ku PSL, no. Angeke kuze kuluke mntakababa. And that team is it's 14 matches. How many matches they play? It's 14.
It's 14. It's 14.
It's 14. So already we are in trouble. We have already played half a season. So
Like 3 points.
I don't see them coming back mntakababa, because if they're going to play nabo Richards Bay nabo Chip, kola mateam akulevel yawo alapha yiyo mus bese kuze Richards Bay kuze
Initially, so Richards Bay beat them now.
ibashayile. So angeke bayibuyile. That's why ngithi kubo nje kithi kwavele kwenzeka i-situation eLeicester City, into engeke iphinde yenzeke le. I don't see them surviving as long as they haven't beefed that squad, and I don't see it happening because it seems like their chairman is stubborn. I don't see it happening. I don't see him bringing like 5 players. I don't see that's happening. And their back line, it's so poor, because if you are playing a back line, yes, they've got experienced players about letting Daniel Navo Ali, but it's Katsa was shyly now. Is those players whereby they have to admit that we are no longer that good. They were good before, but now they cannot cope. They cannot save that team. That's why they even have to buy players or even loan. They have to go for 5 to 7 players. Players that will start the game, not that you say no, they're just no. That will start the game, because those ones that are there, they're only good for a second division, Baba, not PSL.
Maboyo kokota.
Angakhuluma ngalaba abanye, ngithi bengisakhuluma nje ngelokhunjana, ngeke bangizole kakhulu.
Sizobuya nayo, ngifuna ukuthi si-separate. Bangibheki kabi.
I-Ajax Spurs, yabo, as long as confused with the Ajax or Spurs, angeke zisurvive.
Hayi mara, singifaka usibusiso, manje ivelile ngiyabuya, sokhuluma nge-Sundowns.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Oh, Mr. Oti, I'm good. Yeah, Yimutio again.
Ay, man. Hey, Mara. I'm a pen account. Hey.
I must get a bank account also, man.
Ay, guys. Kithi manitshintsha ama-Twitter so le Twitter le ikhona ama-ceiling challenge, I'm sure. Iyokuphela lapha. Hayi, Matiyo. Okay, Theo. Welcome, Theo. Tell me, how did you see this game this on?
Yazi ngiyambuza uyakhala uvele Nkosi yami. Mina into engithusa ukuthi labantu bane 3 points etimini e1. Mara singasho ukuthi bobani. Anyways, it says a lot. That says a lot. And I think it came as well was a given, guys. Guys, I said this thing a long time ago. Middendorp is gonna beat them. Middendorp is not gonna take them anywhere. I know we like to believe.
Yeah, I think it just went low there. Your volume just went low there, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. Can you hear me?
Still, just a little bit. Now it's good to what happened now.
Oh, okay. Because if only I don't know. Okay, let me put it away. Can you hear me now?
There we go. That's better. There we go.
Okay, yeah. Middendorp guys is gonna take them down. But besides that, guys, we call Lambule guys. I don't wanna take it away. What a goal! That was a beautiful goal. I think it would be a contender of equal of the season, yabo. Even though normal Korenji but we don't blame them. It was a very beautiful goal. But other than that, guys, OT, we knew it was not going to be a challenge for Sundowns. We knew OT, they are just going to go there and practice, because not some practice, and it's not was practice. But we knew they were going to collect 3 points. But one thing again that I also want to make it clear, guys, Sundowns are in a depth, and I know Bukumo they are going to come from my head. Sundowns doesn't have depth, guys. They team rotation. Team rotation in Sundowns is very good. But what I'm seeing is these guys, they are competing, but they're not competing to that level whereby, if you put it this way, you can tell team Yabozwane, you can totally tell the difference. So for me, unless they can have a team that can duplicate in the other team, I think then we can say they have depth. But other than that, it was a very good game, dominating game for Sundowns. Cape Town Spurs basically points. But man, mara ngabe badlala Pirates ngabe maya abanye bayakhala.
Hey Mara,
Yeah.
you guys. Hey Mara. Let me see. Wahib, are you back? I saw that message there. Okay, if Wahib is not back, let me read some comments before carrying on. Hey, you guys, Mara. Hey, Mara. Patti, brilliant reply on the water. No stress, no stress. Let's see. Sean Bartlett is more of an attacking coach and knows a lot about different cultures. But guys, I said this before. Mirindop is going to take Cape Town Spurs back to NFT. Says Usbusiso. No haters. We know you received brown envelope allegedly somewhere. Where's my network? Nan Khaleluche Chavani Ndugu. Okay, let's see. I knew that would inspire you. People are talking about pen accounts. Hey, you guys. Agent, let's talk about Sundowns. Now, you guys rotated your team. 10 new players, a different bench to a degree. We finally saw Dennis Onyango come onto the pitch. Haven't seen him in a while. I wasn't even sure if maybe he was moving into Mwene's role there as well. You rotated, they looked great. How much of this is your rotation looking great versus Cape Town Spurs being so bad?
I think Paris played. I think we should go and review that footage. I think they played against the Machinist Chickens, eh? Those are Machinist Chickens. It wasn't Spurs. Now I'm playing Spurs. Them they played against the Chickens, but I think to your point and to the point that today is Sibusiso. Sibusiso said,
Yeah,
I must get a
we
banner
must
account
call them by the banner account so we don't jump piece up for that.
because I must get a banner account there so that I can watch a ceiling challenge freely and get into lives at night at 12 without people seeing there's an agent there. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know. Also, is going back to Sibusiso's point. I don't know. Is it a case of English is trouble for Sibusiso as it is customary to Chiefs? As is customary to Chiefs fans, or it was just what Baxter was saying about Chiefs fans. What is depth?
Hey, leave us alone, man. Hey, man.
Yes,
Answer the question, man.
Hey, tell me one team which can make 9 changes and still have more than 4 times the possession of the other team, anywhere in the world, So, but to the point that you're asking, I think it was a combination of both, to be honest. To be honest with you, a low block against Sundowns, even if it's rotated, you're going to be dominant, But it was also the quality of the opposition. But in as much as it was the quality of the position, you have to look at the players themselves, how they apply themselves. And usually when we are heavily rotated, you cry of chemistry, because chemistry is the main thing that we talk about. But yesterday it was there. You could see it. And I think for me, it again kind of goes back to what Ugulani said to the players at the beginning of the season, that he won't rotate this season because last season he rotated, things didn't go well. So he won't rotate for the sake of rotating, So you have to earn it. So I think that thing had an impact on them, had an impact on them. But you could still see that they're rusty. I don't know.
But will these players see game time now? Because yes, he's spoken about not rotating, but he's also said that it is a merit system. Like we've seen Abum Kulise slowly making it back into the first team or getting more time in the first team. Do you think that guys like Abo Morena are going to be making it back into that first team?
Yeah, no. Hey, you made a wrong example about Morena.
Yeah, it was the wrong one, yeah.
I think Umashiho maybe.
Mashiho, yeah.
But I think what Ugulani has did, you look at the players that played yesterday, all of them except Owanyango, they have had 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and something that actually you advocated for a long time, that
yes,
you should, run the engine a bit, so that when you need them, the engine is already running, you know. So I think Ugulani is
Especially
being
against
smart
Cape
about
Town
it.
Spurs. This was a very good choice for this game, to be honest.
Yes, you know. And I think, like you're saying, maybe Ugulani listens to you. Hey, see, people should listen to you. So
guys.
all the players that were there, you look at them and you say, but these players have been playing somehow in one position or another, or some for some minutes, you know. But the point that I wanted to make was, I'm not. I'm going to call a double agent for this, but I was impressed with his play, Umbule. But I'm looking at Umbule and I'm like, but Umbule, I know they are naturally fat people. I don't know if he's one of them. Is it fat? Are you allowed to call fat? What is the word? Help with the English thing. Don't laugh, man. Guys, what on the panel? What do you call them?
Yeah, just say big boned man now. Hey.
Yeah, big bone. I didn't go to this Model C class schools, so you have to excuse my English. But to the point that I wanted to make, the reason why he can't command a regular starting berth is exactly that sometimes you look at him, he's a good player, but he's big boned, you know. So I'm like, is he struggling? Is it because of his big bone, or he's struggling to just shred the weight a bit, you know? You look at Obogani Zungu, when he came to Sundowns, he was also a bit huge, but they're able to trim it down. Umbule has been there for the longest of time. He's not shredded the weight, you know, and that affects you because you cannot, with such kind of board, you can't play 3-4 games in a row, otherwise you get injured, you know? So that's affecting him. And you look at when Nasir wasn't fit, I'm happy that he played 45 minutes. And you look at Umashero. I think they did a number on us on Omashiro, man.
Hey,
Maybe
Mara.
like you always say, maybe they need to take him to Gavin School of Excellence because he's too erratic, he's too fast for his own good, and his decision making is poor, you know. And you are replacing that's why there's a defender starting ahead of you when in AB, because he gives you more on the ball, you know. So Sundowns doesn't need erratic players. You have to slow down, you know, to play the tempo. And what is this guy? The postman is coming. When are you gonna get a chance like this again? When you wasted it, you know? And people are saying there's an agenda. It's not an agenda against Unku. It's not an agenda. It's not an agenda.
Okay.
I think I saw the back of a Coke bottle, and I thought we found a diamond in the sky.
Hey, Mar. Okay.
But again, quickly, the point that I want to say, but quickly, even him, you know, I think he has to improve on the decision making of it, you know. So it's just his final touch, you know, he makes wrong decisions. In as much as Segundo yesterday was wasteful, he was wasteful but creating good chances and making good decisions. With Unku, he's not giving you that. So yeah, I think 1 or 2 would get in, but some still have a long way to go.
Okay. Velile khona omunye ebambiza Master Chef. And as far as I know, ama-chef asebenza ngokudla. Then jiki sekasidudla, but it's fine. Ngitshele Velile, was this a case of Sundowns being so good or Cape Town Spurs being so bad? Which one was it?
Yabona bosibusiso laba ngabatshela ngathi umuntu eqala uba umzekezeke uzoba nenkinga vele network. Ufana nemkhuba kamzekezeke uzobuya kahle. Awuthiko uzokhuluma kahle. No man, on the other side, Cape Town City was just bad, and it's Sundowns on the other side. I think it was good. Because remember last time I've mentioned, did you see those players when they played against Amazulu, they were on the stands. And I remember and those guys who only play at stands with Sundowns, and of which I still believe good. Yes, they were given a chance, given good, but run a Cape Town Spurs. But in most cases, generally, I believe good. And the players that should get a chance, not good. Maybe is a must, but I thought maybe if a player who's a benching or the players has played maybe in the last three matches, maybe 20 to 10 or 15 minutes a game time just for those legs they were supposed to be like playing yesterday. I think if akalimala kuMendieta, I think he should have played yesterday. For him to get a game time, and also in the middle, I think. Oh yes, ukorile na umbule, but I felt ukuthi uBongani Zungu should have started because he's always there on the bench naye as angene naye. Okay, yeah, uMendieta ulimele, yeah. Sorry, bengas. I felt ukuthi uZungu should have just take control of that middle field. And also man, ukuthi the thing ukuthi you can say they're good, but we want Mswahla, man.
That's why ngibuza, are these players going to get game time? So njengoba badlale so versus Cape Town Spurs, does this performance make Rulani go yazini? Pyramid maybe ngidonsa by 2-3.
No. We only know any players who are lapha namakudlala ku-Champions League. I think uyumureno ongatholi chance because uversatile yena when uVulana amsebenzisa. If you can play right back vele njengoMudau, but we know what he can also play as a striker. And the other ones, Umbule is still behind. So I'm far away because sometimes if we coach Yak Favor, Yak Tand, there's nothing we can do. But yeah, he is behind with the guys that are starting Umukwena, no Alend, and no Zwane. No Mayema even for Pambili Gunai. So I don't see him coming down. Also he told a chance there and then. These players will get a chance because position right, and it allows Rulani to do that.
Yeah.
If position in Cape Town Spurs, it doesn't allow you to do this, whatever that's happening. And he doesn't have plan with tactics and try new strategy. There's no new strategy. Yeah, okay, to make sure defenders he must grind the result. Position but the guy who number one with 11 games, you win all the game. It allows you to, even not an idea, you can even try and implement tomorrow because you are in a comfortable space, like you're in a comfortable zone to implement new things. And it's good. They've got quality players. Although they were good, but is a combination. These players, they've even played together. They've been adapted to the system yet. They're still trying though. Because they were fine, but they were not that super fine as the Sundowns. Because I believe if it was the first team they said the Sundowns, these guys in the 6 of 8.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, man.
Yeah, they should have got it. But it's the good thing would have gave other players a chance now. But my thing is what they can do. But 80%, yeah, but no, they won the on the first.
Okay.
They still have to drag.
Let me go to Wahib. Wahib, are you back with me?
I'm back.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go. Tell me, is this a case of was yesterday's match a case of Sundowns being so good, or was it Cape Town Spurs being so bad? And do you think that with that performance, there's going to be a lot of these Sundowns players that make it into the first team?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both. For Sundowns, good for the second string of players because they have to fight for their positions. As for Cape Town, they have to look at themselves and think what they've put themselves into because this type of quality is not good enough in the best league in Africa. If you want to stay at the top, you have to make drastic changes. Sundowns is the best team as they can look at and find maybe 2-3 good examples of players and try and snatch them away if they can stay in the PSL. If they can stay in the PSL, good for them, but it's very hard.
Okay. Let me go to Agent. Agent, I'm looking at the time. Can you give me a closing statement for today, especially seeing as the team is doing so well? 11 times the number of points that Cape Town Spurs has.
Yeah, and I think before I give my closing statement, I don't know, guys. If the Sundowns, the regional players that played yesterday, do you think would have won 3-0 or 1-0 and closed shop and rested, Because for me, I think would have won 1-0 and decided to kill the game off, But so I think of recent we've been struggling, But to your point, I think I just want to close it on 2 players actually, on Oshalulile, the ultimate professional for me, I think in academies, they should just use this guy as an example of what it means to be the ultimate professional. You know, I think if he likes, he's going to be our Ronaldo who's gonna play into his 40s if he likes and wishes. You know, because the
Well,
way he took
PSL, man, he'll still be a youngster at 39.
you know, so if he likes, and like you had on the interview there, Urulan was saying, "Bruh, just take time off and rest." Like, no, man, I'm coming to training. You know, I wanna play this game. You know, so that shows you the hunger that even when you are a few goals away from being the greatest goal scorer in PSL, you still have that hunger. You know, and the last person is Umorena, you know. I think he's maturing like fine wine, you know. I think the young boy that I saw was running up and down at Bloemfontein Celtic has matured into a man, you know. And I liked what he did to show maturity. And I think the togetherness maybe even less a point when things are going well for you, things come easy, you know. I saw him, they're about to take out Omaboe for, I don't know who was that player. And he saw that my show might be injured there. He signaled to Rulani and it's like, Rulani, stop the substitution, look at Oma Sheho. You know, and immediately Rulani listened to him. You know, I think that shows the the togetherness in the team, you know, and
camaraderie.
Yes, I was looking for that word. It escaped me. Hey, thank you, Model C. Thank you, Model C. You know, so I think it shows the togetherness in the team, you know, and you look at the polar opposite. The training, the previous training wasn't good. They were demotivated. Cape Town Spurs. Even during the game, you could see that, hey, these ones are just playing for the 90 minutes.
There was that look that keeper gave. Sorry, there was that look after Mbule hit him the second time. Hey, there was that look, but it was just like, yeah, man.
You know, and it reflects even from Imedendo, you know. So I think, and to Wahib's point, that are not being paid enough, you know. So I think, you know, Ajax Cape Town, bye-bye. Go and recollect and come back stronger, you know. So yeah, I'm happy for Vogulani, and we'll see others. We'll see Fistin Maele and Orlando Pyramids next week.
Hey, Vara. Velile, closing statements for tonight.
Yeah. Hey, kunzima la.
Hey, now we'll cool my soul. Say Pirates winner. But hey.
When the player is aging and becoming slower, they say he's mature. Hey, yeah, closing up, and I said it was a beautiful game, you know. Sometimes it's nice just to have goals to PSL because we know the goals, we are a bit scarce with them, and sometimes we've been watching a game 1-0, 2-1 whatsoever. The more we see, the more goals that are being scored from PSL, it also helps Nakona to attract my supporters up yesterday because they're watching the games that will have goals. So the more goals that we will have in each and every game, it's a better for even for Amehlo Etuti and for the viewership also Nakona good. But Cape Town Spurs, Leicester City, Baba. Never.
Okay. And Futi, okay, wait, before you go, let me ask you. The worst record in Mother City. They finished with 10 points in the 99-2000 season. Cape Town Spurs, how are they going to look versus that record?
All of them, they are from Wahib's place there. That's a handicap. So they come with these new records,
Hey, Mar. Hi.
There's no problem, man. Hey, good night, my friend.
Wahib is having such a nice time, then you are being brought into the beef now. Hi, man. Wahib, closing statements. And do you think that this team is going to eclipse that record, that Mother City record?
I think they won't be winning one of the one against Pirates, and it's a record of the record. So Stellenbosch is probably making us proud. And Cape Town City. So let's be happy for them. Maybe next season we'll see another Cape Town team coming up, but let's hope and pray. Those teams that is laying second and third is giving some teams a punishment.
Okay. But they must, maybe they must rebrand back to ex-Cape Town. Who knows? Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Look, mine is very simple, man. Mamelodi Sundowns played a very good game versus the worst team in the league. It was a 3-0 win. It was expected. I don't think you would want or expect anything more from that game than what happened last night. I'm not sure if Middendorp is the right person to save the Cape Town Spurs, because I think after you've lost 13 of 14 games, you sit back, and I don't think you can rescue the mentality of those players without, honestly, in January, going all out and getting 5, 6, 7 players who are going to replace your starters immediately. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Rulani did very well this game, of choosing this game to rotate the squad out, because rotating a squad out in a game like this, firstly, it's going to be an easier game, but also the guys you're bringing in are going to be hungry. So I think that rotation and choosing this game was a very good masterstroke from him, especially to rest his team, because over the past few games, they have looked a little bit vulnerable, a little bit tired, to be honest with you. So they needed this type of break, and Cape Town Spurs came at the exact perfect time. So shout out to his Sundowns, man. It's very hard, as people have said, to have a completely different team and still be able to pull out a result. Not many teams in the PSL, not many teams in the world are able to have a second team that is as competent as what we saw Mamelodi Sundowns take out yesterday. For me, it was a boring game when you're watching it as a fan, well, as somebody who's not a fan of either team. I guess the Sundowns guys can take positives from it. The Cape Town Spurs people are just going to carry on crying. But that's how that game played out. Just a reminder, Mamelodi Sundowns is number 1, 11 games played, 11 wins, 33 points, a goal difference of 20. Then you have Cape Town Spurs, who are on the bottom of that, the inverse of that. They are the last in the league, number 16, 14 games played, 1 win, 13 losses, and then negative 20 goals conceded with 3 points on the board. They are chasing a record. Mamelodi Sundowns broke a record at the top. Cape Town Spurs broke a record with the worst start at the bottom. And the way it's looking, that Mother City 99-2000 finish of 10 points might just be achievable by this team, because wow, they are playing so badly. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Remember that tomorrow is my members only show. So you guys will still be able to watch. You'll still be able to watch, but you won't be able to actually add your voice to the show. It's going to be the contributing members of the show to contribute to the show, especially now during Christmas, guys. Head on over to YouTube, join. So subscribe and then click on join. It's 20 Rand a month. Then you get access to our WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group decides the topics tomorrow, and it becomes more of an open space where all of them come in and they run the show. So it's incredible conversations we've had on that side, and it just gives you a glimpse of what we do in the group all the time. We're always speaking in the group about a ton of things in the group about to do with football, and because we don't have the time constraints of the live show, we rarely get into things. So join that WhatsApp group and support. It's going to be 12:30. 12:30 in the afternoon is going to be when we do our member show. So please look out for that. Please join if you haven't. And also, subscribe, follow this page, subscribe to the YouTube page. Facebook is currently down. I am suspended on Facebook. I don't know why. I'm working through that. So in lieu of that, follow the TikTok page, subscribe to the YouTube page, watch the other content that I have there, watch the short form content that I have on those channels, and support. Thank you so much to Van der Norm and Utkolani for helping me with beating the gift goal. We've doubled the gift goal tonight. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's been watching. Shout out to the people in the comments. Shout out to my panel. Shout out, man, to YouTube as well. Those who are watching on YouTube as well. I'll see you guys then tomorrow. At 12:30.